Practice Manager's Checklist to Hiring a New Advanced Practice Registered Nurse. The Consensus Model Guiding, Licensing, and Credentialing. A presentation by Abigail Darnell and Lucille McLean. Disclosures for this presentation. The authors have no actual or potential conflict of interest in relations to this presentation. The authors also have no financial interests that relate to this presentation. Congratulations, you were picked to be a practice manager. In your role, you are essential to financial decisions for the practice, a strong contributor to developing employee relations, and a decision maker for marketing options. You are the person who will lead change for your practice, but you must also be humble enough to accept constructive criticism. Many practice managers have a background in the medical field. This can lead to concern when non-medical tasks are delegated to you. It is imperative to develop trust between yourself as the practice manager and the practice physicians to encourage delegation of important tasks. Practice managers often learn on the job. As you gain experience as a practice manager, you might need to seek support for additional training. That's probably why you're here today. This will help ensure you, as a practice manager, feel confident in your abilities to transition newly hired staff into practice. Now it's your turn to help with hiring a new advanced practice registered nurse. You posted a job opening, had multiple applicants, and interviewed a handful of highly qualified individuals to fill the opening at your practice. After deciding on a candidate, they accepted. That's great, but what's next? Transitioning an advanced practice registered nurse into your practice requires meticulous attention to detail. As a practice manager, you are delegated with ensuring that their credentials will be in place. This is paramount to their productivity as an employee and the safety of your patients. The process of hiring and transitioning an advanced practice registered nurse involves several key steps, from initial recruitment, interviewing, and contract negotiations to full integration into your practice. Each phase requires careful coordination and verification of credentials. Creating a checklist for verifying an advanced practice registered nurse's qualifications is extensive and continually evolving. It encompasses licensure, certification, education, and all vital components to ensure the provider's competence and the financial success of your practice. Back to the training you received for this position. Did it come with a manual, or was it more of a fly-by-the-seat-of-your-pants adventure? This is especially true if you're the first person in this role for your practice. How do you know what needs to be included in your checklist to ensure you're checking all the right boxes? Each practice will require its own unique list based on their needs, but some common examples of things you will need to verify for credentialing include a relevant degree, advanced practice registered nurse license, RN license, NPI number, and a DEA certificate if it is relevant to your practice setting. Now that you've made your list and checked it twice, how do you, as a practice manager, juggle all of the providers in your practice's credentials? It is your responsibility to ensure they stay up to date, so you must know when you need to renew their licenses and credentials. Using a tool to automate this can help with your success as a practice manager. There are available software services that automate the licensing credentialing process in your practice. Medallion Credentialing is one of those options. They evaluate and verify your employees qualified, up to date, and help eliminate the liability of expired credentials for your providers. Now that you've verified the advanced practice registered nurse and credentials are up to date, how do you ensure they are qualified for the job? Every degree comes with its own specialty, role, and population focus. How do you ensure that you've got the right person for the right job? The consensus model serves as your guide. It is the framework to give you the green light for hiring a certain advanced practice registered nurse for your specific practice. It guides the practice managers on who they can hire, for what job, based on their specific specialty, role, and population focus obtained by their degree. Some might see the consensus model as a restriction for advanced practice registered nurses, but what it aims to do is promote independent practice for advanced practice registered nurses, and it encourages them to fulfill their roles to the fullest extent of their education and training, and setting them up for success. As a practice manager, it is important for you to understand the level of adoption of the consensus model in your state. This allows you to ensure that you are following your state's implementation of the model and encouraging your advanced practice registered nurse contributions to the practice to the highest of their abilities. The consensus model established standardized guidelines for advanced practice registered nurse licensure based on their education and practice location. As a practice manager, familiarizing yourself with these guidelines ensures a smooth integration of an advanced practice registered nurse into your team. Utilizing advanced practice registered nurses to their full potential requires the adherence to the consensus model and an understanding of its implications for you as a practice manager. By aligning with these guidelines, practices can benefit from the expertise and autonomy of an advanced practice registered nurse, setting them up for success for your practice. Adhering to the consensus model ensures compliance with regulatory standards for your newly hired advanced practice registered nurse, specifically in your state. It also safeguards the legal and financial interests of your practice by limiting its liabilities. As a practice manager, hiring advanced practice registered nurses with proper credentials not only mitigates risk and enhances the overall efficiency of your team, but ensures the safety of the patients that your newly hired advanced practice registered nurse will care for. In conclusion, embracing the consensus model facilitates the smooth integration of an advanced practice registered nurse into your practice, ensuring compliance with regulatory standards and maximizing their contribution to the patient care and practice efficiency. Thank you for listening to our presentation. We appreciate your time.